trying something new today in true entrepreneurial fashion. We are throwing it out there and seeing if it sticks. The genesis of what you are about to hear or watch is that Ann and I have been blown away by the number of people that watch the shorts of our lightning round at the end of every Fast Five that we record, every Fast Five podcast that we record, in which, we are retail experts, so to speak, but the lightning round, Ann, I don't think the lightning round really qualifies as retail insights, and maybe it does.
No expertise is required for the answers of those questions. No.
So those people tuning in for our retail insights are still loving our lightning round. So because of that, and we teased this on our Fast Five together a few weeks ago, we're going to rank stuff. We're going to rank stuff today, Ann, and we're going to start this first ever show ranking our favorite holidays 1 through 5. Are you ready for this, Ann?
I love that there's no other premise but rank stuff. That was the thesis for this podcast. So very deeply thought through rank stuff. Yes. We're going to rank our favorite holidays today. I love it.
And as you say that, Ann, it's totally on brand for us. Totally rank stuff. Yeah. Let's just rank stuff.
Yes.
So are you ready to go?
Yes, I'm ready.
You want to ask a question before we get started?
Before we get started, I have to ask you a question. So we're ranking holidays. Mm-hmm. Did you, in your prep for this podcast, have to Google the holidays?
No, I did not, Ann. No, I did not. No.
Okay.
Given my 47 years of experience on this earth, I was pretty comfortable. I knew which holidays registered in my mind. But I think
it was just me then. So it was just me.
Yes,
I did. You. I did because I think
by the way.
It was very challenging. Like when you look at the list, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't forgetting any holidays.
I know.
Or like, what's considered a holiday? Because like the US holidays, if you just Google it, is like the ones that the government is closed down. They don't get into like St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day.
Oh, definitely a holiday. Day. Definitely a holiday.
Yes. Okay. So I included those. I just wanted to set the table.
Yes, you should
have.
Sure
that we're like, we're allowed to include non-government holidays in this because I definitely did. So just clarifying. Okay.
Yes,
all right.
You definitely should have. Yeah, no, there's no rules in rank stuff, and there's no rules. In fact, but the only rule I think for this one is it's US holidays. Like we're not doing Boxing Day or something like that. Even though one of the potential titles for this entire series, if it takes off, is "You're Such a Ranker" in honor of our friends overseas as well. But yes, Ann. I think if Googling helped you arrive at that, I'm all for it. So, but I
wanted to make sure that I was applying to all the terms and conditions of the Rank Stuff podcast. So I just made sure I was doing my due diligence. So we are recognizing for everyone listening, any holiday that is recognized somewhat in the US.
It can even be like your own holiday too, like Festivus, like on Seinfeld. Like if you have Bongo Day in your house or something like that,
you didn't tell me that was included.
That also qualifies. Well, I think it should. But all right, let's see where you came up with.
All right.
You start us off. We're gonna go reverse order. What is your 5th favorite holiday?
Okay. This holiday, this is where I get into the like gray of the holidays, but my 5th favorite holiday is summer solstice. The longest day of the year.
Summer solstice. Wow.
Yes.
Starting off strong, coming in strong.
Yes.
Why do you like the summer solstice? What day is that? June 21st?
June 21st. June 21st.
Nice. Okay. All right.
I have a lot of friends who have summer solstice parties, and it's like fun.
You do?
Like one of them does like a Midsummer Night's Dream themed one, and it's like kind of cool. Another friend of mine is Latvian, and they always celebrate the summer solstice. Yanni Day is what they call it, and she like has this whole party where her dad's like the US ambassador to Latvia, so like he brings in all this Latvian food, and like she has this great party. It's my grandmother's birthday, so I think of her that day, and it's the most sunlight that we get in one day, and I think that alone is like a reason to celebrate. So I'm going summer solstice. It's crazy. It's unorthodox, but that's my top 5, my 5 holiday of the top 5.
Summer solstice, like that. That didn't even crack my consideration.
This is why I Googled, Chris, because I was like, what holidays are there that I'm not thinking of? And this was on the list. And I was like, yeah, I actually do love that day.
Wow. I'll give you the sunlight day. The sunlight thing is cool. I didn't even know people that existed, like that people had summer solstice parties. I had no idea. And Yanni Day, like I imagine that's a word specific to Latvian culture as opposed to like
Yes.
listening to Yanni music, right?
No,
Although
it's
I think the inclusion of
Jani.
both would be
Yeah.
kind of fun. Okay, got it,
Yes.
got it, got it.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Mine
What's
is not
yours?
quite mine is not quite as obscure, and I will
Okay.
put that out there. Mine is
Fair.
New Year's Day. New Year's Day, actually.
Oh, okay. Why?
Yeah,
Why does
New
that
Year's Day.
take fifth place?
For me, it's not like on the upper echelon, but it's like it gets ranked for me because of the nostalgia, Anne. Love is in the air. You look back on the past year, you can look back fondly. It gives you good memories. You always remember where you are. When Harry Met Sally comes into play in my mind. You also
Mm,
get the next day off, which, as you're going to see in my rankings, Anne, how many days off I get around the holidays was a
fair.
key
Very
criteria
valid.
for my
Yeah.
ranking. Yes, you
Very
have the
valid
light
point.
week heading into it before Christmas is up as well. Ryan Seacrest balls are dropping in New York City
So
as
New Year's
well.
Eve or New Year's Day? Because you said New
Oh, New
Year's
Year's
Day,
Eve.
and you need to
New
clarify.
Year's, New Year's, New Year's. The whole,
No,
the whole,
got to pick a
the whole
holiday.
kit and
Got to pick a
caboodle.
day.
No, 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 no. You're delineating between New Year's Eve and New Year's Day.
Yes, let me tell you
Nah,
why. Because New
the
Year's
24-hour
Day,
period, and the 24-hour
mm-mm,
period is what
nope,
I'm saying.
nope, nope,
Yep. Okay,
disqualified.
go
You
ahead.
have to
Why?
pick New
Why?
Year's Eve or New Year's Day. New Year's Day
New Year's Eve. New
sucks.
Year's Eve then.
New Year's
New
Day
Year's Eve.
sucks. You are the first day of any one of your New Year's
That's
Eve
fair.
resolutions goes into play. So that means like no
You're going
sweets
to the
or no
gym.
smoking
Yeah,
or
right.
going to the gym or
Yeah,
whatever it is.
yeah, yeah,
That goes into effect. You may
yeah,
be hungover or at least just
yeah,
tired because you were up late the night before. And then the next
yeah,
day, you got to go to work after being on
yeah,
vacation for the last however
yeah,
long. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
say New Year's Day, not no. New Year's Eve, I'll give
Yeah,
you,
you're right.
but
You're right.
I
You're right. I need.
disqualify New Year's Day.
You're right. In our first ranked stuff podcast, I need to change my answer, and you have convinced me to change my answer. It's not New Year's Day. It's New Year's Eve. Yes, New
Yes.
Year's Eve. Yes.
Okay, great. You get out of work early. Like there's a lot of pluses to New Year's Eve. You dress up, you get to like celebrate. Usually you go something fancy. Like I'll give you New Year's Eve. I think that's a valid holiday.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. I'm gonna lead the next one then. So number four. Number four was one when I was thinking about this. It kind of snuck in as a dark horse. Like I was kind of
Ooh.
surprised, like when I came up with this one. But number four for me is honestly Memorial Day, Anne. Memorial Day.
Okay.
Start a
Okay.
summer. Start a
Yeah.
summer barbecue. 3-day weekend again. The time off work theme. Kids are pretty much done with school at this point, so the teachers don't give a flying fiddlers about anything. But the downsides of it are that it's often taken up by like a dental convention that Mrs. Omnitalk has to go to,
Mm.
or somebody plans a wedding, which I also hate weddings on holidays. Like it's just a big freaking pet peeve of mine. But
You getting invited to a lot of weddings these days, Chris, in your 40s?
still, yeah. But yeah, I am actually still do. But yes, but it always happens. Like people do their weddings on Memorial Day and stuff. So it gets why it's not higher is those things, right? Like it's sometimes just gets clouded up or clamped up with other activities around it. So I don't get to spend it to the degree that I want to. But I like it because,
Okay.
start of summer, and it's kind of like
Yeah.
it's kind of got a summer solstice vibe that I have that it
Sure.
has for me.
Sure.
But what's your fourth? I'm curious.
Yeah. My fourth is St. Patrick's Day. Because if you
St.
do
Patrick's Day.
St.
Yeah.
Patrick's Day right,
I totally
which
forgot about St. Patrick's
I
Day.
don't think that you do this right as you age as much.
Yeah.
But I mean, the St. Patrick's Day that I've spent
Yeah.
in Chicago or in
Yeah.
New York and even here in Minneapolis and St. Paul,
Yeah.
like we have in St. Paul, we have a big and Minneapolis, we have a big like Irish culture and heritage here too.
Yeah,
And I
for
think if
sure.
you get up in the morning, you start your day with a Guinness and you
Yeah.
like go do
Yeah.
like have breakfast at a local Irish bar, like that
Yeah.
day is full of fun and you go to bed early and it's great.
The only downside is the next day, the next day. But you're right. You're right. You're convincing me that I should have Googled the holidays because I can't
Yes.
believe St. Patrick's Day did not make my
This
top
was
five as
another
I'm
one
sitting
that
here.
was on the
Like,
list that I was
I'm,
like,
I'm
oh
bumping
yeah.
Memorial Day. Memorial Day, you're gone. As I'm doing this, Memorial Day's out, and I'm putting St. Patrick's Day in number four. So
You are.
I'm with
Okay.
you.
I'm
I'm with
surprised
you. Yeah.
You love an Irish bar more than anyone.
I
Like
know,
I thought,
I know.
I actually am surprised that wasn't on your list. I thought that was going to be like number two, like
Right,
like
right.
St.
Yeah, no,
Patrick's Day.
it actually might move up in the rankings as we do this. And I mean, I was derelict in my duties here. Like I shouldn't
It's
be
fair
allowed to
game.
rank stuff. I shouldn't be
No,
allowed to
no,
do this.
no.
All right, number three. What's number three?
Number three for me is 4th of July.
Mm,
I
nice,
love 4th
solid
of
choice.
July because it's always nice out, especially like living in Minnesota and growing up here. Like it's always been associated with like going to a lake somewhere, hanging out with friends, like a full
Yeah,
long day and night of like fun activities. It's usually nice out. Boat parades, like the
yeah.
whole thing, like America. It's like one of my favorite days. Yeah, it's 4th of July. Everybody's happy.
I like the America drop. That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna give a little preview. That was actually my number two. I love Fourth of July. I love Fourth of
Okay.
July. So
Okay.
so, and I'm with you on everything. Like you get the barbecues, awesome. You get the day off. Um, you can day drink. I like day drinking, which is why I can't believe I didn't have St. Patrick's Day in there.
Yes,
And
common
you got
theme.
late,
Common theme
yeah,
here is
right?
day
Lake
drinking.
trips,
Yes.
camping, everything's on
Yep.
the table with Fourth of July. You can do Fourth of July
You're gonna
anywhere
need
you
to move
want.
camping right off of that list for both
Yeah,
of us.
right.
Let's
But
be real
in
here.
theory, one could camp, man. One
One
could
could
camp. Should
one
one
could camp.
should
Yes.
should you lose your mind and want to, right? Yes, one could camp. You can do it from your roof. I've celebrated 4th of July from many rooftops
Yep.
in my days,
Yep. Yep.
houses or apartment buildings. The only downside though to 4th of July, in my opinion, which honestly kept it from being a solid number one,
Yeah.
is it sucks when it falls on a Monday through Thursday because you got to go to work the next day. That's the only thing that just drives me
Some
crazy.
might
Although
go
I
to
guess if
work the
it's
next day, but you
yeah,
know this is like one of those weeks during the summer where people are just like Thanksgiving week where people are like the
yeah,
whole week's discounted. Like people just go on vacation that week, so nothing gets done anyway.
yeah,
So I mean, you
yeah,
could go to work the next day, but
yeah.
you could
That's true.
also
That's
use
true.
one of your days off. That would
That's
be
true. That's true.
yeah.
All right. So my number three, though, my number three was actually Christmas. So my number three
Oh,
was Christmas,
three.
and
Okay.
yeah,
Mm.
number three. So I'm curious. Do you have it ranked higher? We'll find out when you do your number two. Mainly because the thing I love about Christmas, and again,
Yeah.
common themes. No one works that entire week, which is why I love
Yes.
Christmas. Like
In the
it's
US,
just like
yeah, it's
deuces,
over.
peace
Yep.
out.
Yep.
It's good food, family, but why it's not higher for me. This is why it's not
Yeah.
higher for me
Explain.
is it can get a little too hectic, get a little too crazy. People can
Only
get a
if you
little
let it.
down. They can get
Only if
that
you let
like
it.
what's that seasonal holiday disorder or whatever, that
Seasonal
like
affective disorder.
yeah,
Yeah.
seasonal effectiveness disorder. That's hard to say on a podcast, but so it's just a lot of emotion tied up with holidays. Families in town, it cramps your
Least
style a little bit.
least amount
Like it's
of
just
light
not.
of the entire year. Again,
Yeah, it's super
I know you're
dark. It's
giving me a hard time
cold.
about summer solstice,
Yeah, no,
but
you're right. You're
there's
right.
it's dark the whole time here. Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, right. You're right. So yeah. So what? Okay. Now I'm really curious. Then, what is your number two?
Okay, my number two. This is my number two because
What is
I
your number
want it
two?
to be, but I have a backup in case you disqualify me for my number
Oh, in
two.
case I disqualify you. Okay.
Number two is my birthday.
Your
Can that be a
birthday.
holiday? If not, I have a
Ah.
backup. If not, I have a
No,
backup.
I think it. No, I think you need a backup. I think it needs to be. Not everyone in the world can celebrate your. Well, I guess they could, but it's. I think we need a backup.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I mean, in
I
terms of
think we need a
like to
backup.
me, it's like that's like one of my favorite holidays of Anne for the year.
But,
So
before we
okay.
ask you to give her backup, like what is the rationale for your birthday being ranked number two?
I just feel like that's like who doesn't love a day where like you get to hear from all your friends and family, you get to spend time with them, like you get fun things, you get a free Starbucks. Like I feel like those are the days
Yeah.
where it's just like there's so much joy associated. But I'll go to my backup. My
And you get
backup for
another year closer to death too, I guess. And
I
like
mean, can
that.
you tell that both of us are on opposite ends of the spectrum here? Like, this is why Christmas is number three. It's dark and depressing, and you get
Right,
your
yeah.
birthday, you get another year closer to death, like, or you get to hang out with all your friends and
Holiday
family.
cheer,
Like,
all that stuff,
yeah,
right? Like the old
bah
Steve Martin
humbug.
skit. Yeah. All right.
Um,
What's your other
okay, so
number
my
two?
so my other number two is actually Memorial Day. I picked that for the reasons that
You
you
did.
outlined. Yes, because
Wow.
again, like, can you tell that Minnesota is a miserable place to live most of the year? Because Memorial Day, like you said, kids are almost done with school. Everybody's like kicking off the
Yeah.
summer. If you work at a place that observes summer Fridays, which I did for several years when I worked in advertising, it was like this was the kickoff to summer Fridays. Everybody's like really
Yeah.
ready to
Yeah.
like get
Yeah.
outside and make the most of the summer. And there's no better time in Minnesota than summer. So for all the reasons that you identified about Memorial Day, I also like the other kind of fun part of this, and this is true of Fourth of July too, and is I like when you get to honor the veterans on this day. Like I think it's a really
Yeah.
cool time
Right.
to
Right.
like when you're in the grocery store, you can be like, thank you for your
Yep.
service. Like that
Yep.
time and like that pride, which I don't feel like we get an opportunity enough to recognize the veterans
Yeah.
in our country. Like I do love that, like the seeing the
Mhm.
kids go up to somebody like a
Yeah.
World War II vet that's got his hat on at
Mhm.
Jerry's grocery store. And like they get to go up and be like, thank you for your service. And I love that part of it too. So number
Yeah,
two
that's a great point. I
holiday.
forgot about that. We've regularly visited the veterans cemetery too here in town,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah, take the kids over there 'cause, my wife's a veteran too. So yeah, that's a great point. So if we had a who's winning the rankings on this podcast, which we might at the end, I think Memorial Day is the winner of the overall rankings, even though it might not be ranked number one. It is like
Yep.
the surprise hit of this
Yes.
podcast.
Yes.
All right, Ed. I can't wait to do number one because I know you are going to vehemently disagree with mine. But you go first. What's your number one?
Christmas. Number one holiday. Always
Christmas.
has been,
Wow.
always will be. Yes.
Okay.
Um,
Why?
because unlike you, I have very positive memories associated with Christmas and always
I
have.
do too. It was my
It
number
was
three.
always
It's number three.
it's number one for me. It's all
All
like
right.
the Christmas season lasts a long time of the year. And my number one thing about
Mhm.
it is that it brings out the goodness in people. And I think that pretty much for the whole month of December, you see people going above and beyond to like do things to help people in need. They're just kinder. People open doors for people. Like there's like a general positivity in the air.
Mm.
Maybe until you get to your Christmas family gatherings. I don't know everybody's situation, but in my case, it was always like a really warm, positive, fun time. My parents and grandparents always like made a huge deal of Christmas, so that was always a great thing. And so I don't know. I feel like I get excited for it. I feel like Hallmark movies are out, kindness is in the air, the spirit of giving, all these things, Chris, that make Christmas
Right.
so
Right.
wonderful.
The holiday movie, Jude Law looks amazing in that. Like I get it. I get it. I mean,
Yeah.
I can go with Christmas as number one. I'm not going to dispute that. I mean, I had it number
Okay.
three, but my number one did not even make your top five. That's what's interesting here.
Oh my
And I
God.
think you
What's
know
your
what it
number
is.
one? What is it?
Thanksgiving.
Ugh.
Thanksgiving. It's next week. It's right around the corner. Oh, man, it's so awesome. You get 2 days off, Ann. 2 days
Yep.
off heading into the weekend. The food is amazing. You get
Ugh.
family too, and you get family for a shorter period of time. So I like that. It's also a big retail weekend. I don't have to spend money on food all weekend because I can just eat leftovers. I can eat turkey. I can eat stuffing. I can eat sweet potatoes.
Gross.
It's
Gross.
it's it's
Gross.
buttered rolls. Like it's just amazing feast. There's football. Like I love Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is
You.
the best.
You.
You,
That's
well,
like Thanksgiving is my favorite. Like I'm gonna bah humbug your number one because
okay, go
Thanksgiving
ahead.
is my favorite time to get the hell out of here. Like I use those 4 days and I'm going on vacation. I am not eating any of your disgusting food, especially the gravy. So gross. And like
You hate gravy,
arguments.
don't you?
If you
Yes.
if you like if you had to ask people, I'd be curious if you poll people, like what is the most high stress time that or holiday that you can think of being around your family? Definitely Thanksgiving. Definitely Thanksgiving
Thanksgiving over
because people
Christmas.
are Oh,
Okay.
for sure. People are having everybody, like, not everybody, a lot of people in the US celebrate Thanksgiving. So this is like
Yeah.
when, regardless of your,
Yeah.
religious
Right.
like this non-denominational holiday. So people are drinking, it gets really sloppy. People are like talking about inappropriate things. I think if you polled people, they'd say that Thanksgiving is more high stress, the most high
So
stress
so
holiday.
so
The
your
cooking
Thanksgiving
has
dinner
to all
table
be
just
ready at one time. Like, no,
yeah,
no,
the cooking coordination is tough, but yeah, I think you have the same issue at Christmas. So I'm kind of nulling and voiding that point. But so wait, the thing I want to click into here is you're saying that your Thanksgiving dinner table conversations are a little more heated than your average Christmas dinner conversations, or people are a little more lit up during
for
Thanksgiving
sure.
than they
You're
are
like
at Christmas.
you're right after
Really?
an election. Like, like people. Yeah.
Really?
I think
Hmm.
it's a bad time of year. You start by saying what you're thankful for, and then it turns into how in the world could you have voted for that person, and everybody leaves drunk and angry.
Wow. See, I
That's
love
my
that. I
that's my
love
synopsis of Thanksgiving.
my absolute favorite thing is to sit down at any after any family dinner, whether it's Christmas or even Thanksgiving, any dinner really, any family dinner, and sit there with coffee and just debate the hell out of everything, which I would love, which is what partly how this podcast has come about. It's originated. Like
Yeah, but
I
you're
can
a
debate
master
things.
debater. Like, you're a master debater, so you win those arguments. Like, you're not just casually sitting there trying to have a glass of wine and
That's
like catch
true.
up with your family. You are prepared at any point in time. Like, you could be mid-sleep and wake up and still debate the hell out of something with somebody. Not all of us are like you, Chris. So it
That's
does
true.
not end well. When you can't come
That's
up with
true. If
rapid fire arguments of like what policy was put into place on X date because this helped, children get free
uh,
school lunches. Like, I don't know.
oh my God.
It gets into bad territory.
Oh my God, that is true. I have fractured quite a few family relationships over the years as I'm thinking about this. My mom, if she's listening, will understand that comment very well. Oh man, Ann, that was fun. Oh my God, I had a ton of fun doing this. Did you have fun? I thought it was great. I had
Yes.
such a good time.
I
All
want
right,
more
who
holidays to throw in the
I
mix
know.
here.
We got tons, folks. We got tons of stuff we're planning to rank here. We're gonna see if you guys like this. We'll keep doing it. I think at the end of the day, which holiday snuck in there that surprised you? I think for me it was Memorial Day. Like
Yeah,
how we both came out for Memorial Day
for
was
sure.
really interesting. I had no doubt we were gonna split on Thanksgiving because I know how much you just loathe gravy. Gravy enough,
Oh
despite
my
all the other
God.
points you had, is enough to turn
Gross.
your stomach. So we'll have to do it again, I think. And I think we'll have to do this again.
We
You
will.
personally, you're such a ranker. I love it. You're such a ranker.
I don't know.
For
I think rank stuff might be
rank
in the
stuff,
contention for the
I
best name for this. So, people listening, one, submit your favorite title. You're such a
yes,
ranker, or rank stuff,
rank
as
stuff.
which is your preferred title if we continue this podcast beyond one episode, which is highly debatable. And then two, what other things should we be ranking? Anything is open. There is
Yes,
no thing that is out of bounds for this conversation.
yes. And the last point I'd make too is for those listening and watching, let us know, were you Team Ann or Team Chris in terms of how we ranked our 5 holidays? Because we are curious to know. And was there a holiday that both of us missed that you think should have been included
Yes.
on the list? So let us know on social media or on YouTube. And of course, as always, on behalf of Ann and myself, be careful out there.